Hey there, I'm at the library. Shut up! You're at the library. Keep it down. I love the library. I remember when I was little, I would go to the library every Saturday to check out books. Manga. It was like a daily routine to just go to the library. The library is great. You get to check out books and classic movies for free. Like no strings attached kind of free. It's a quiet place and it has the internet so you can always do your work or rest in peace. It's like heaven, bruh. I remember when I was little and I actually thought about being a librarian. Of course, being a doctor was top priority because, I'm Asian. To this day, I still think it would be nice to be a librarian. Being a librarian seems great. You don't have to worry about anything. All you had to do was shelf books and stuff. Zero stress. I consider it an A+ job. So, during high school, you're expected to get a certain amount of service hours. In my case, 50. For those of you who don't know what service hours are, it's basically you helping the community in some way for free. Basically volunteering. I decided to volunteer at my local library during the summer. I thought it would be a great way to get service hours and get experience, the daily experience of a librarian, the job that I considered. So I signed myself up. A couple days later, it was time to get working. Now, there were other kids volunteering because apparently volunteering at the library was really common. Now, on the first day, we received a lanyard that said Library Volunteer Worker. And you got to write your name on it and decorate it however you like. So I was pretty proud to wear this lanyard. It made me feel special and powerful. When everyone was done decorating their lanyards, it was time for training. The librarian showed us how to shelve these books using the almighty system called the Dewey Decimal System. Everyone was paying attention, including me, but I just didn't comprehend what was going on. The librarian asked, "So who wants to give it a try?" Of course, she just had to pick me, because why not? Let's just pick the Asian kid in the corner who obviously doesn't want to do this. Like, it was so clear from my body language that I didn't want to do this. I want out. I even told her, I'm sorry, but I don't know how. Well, you're gonna have to learn anyway, so just give it a try. Great. So it looks like I gotta do it. And I'm gonna embarrass myself in front of these other people who I don't know. I grabbed the book and blindly placed it in between some other random books. I knew I had a 0.00000000000000001% chance of placing it in the right spot. But what the hey, right? So she checked if I placed it correctly, and you know what happened? I was one book away from getting it right. Now you might be thinking, oh, is that why you hate the library? Seriously, that's lame. Well, I agree if that was the case. But it wasn't, not even close. That was just the tip of the iceberg, bruh. Here comes the tea, sis. So when you volunteer at the library, you got 2 jobs. 1, shelve the books, and 2, sign people up for the summer reading program, aka just sitting around watching Netflix. Most of the time, there weren't people interested, so you just sit there. This is what everyone wanted to do. I, however, never had the privilege to sit down and relax. Wow, is that why you hate the library? No. Just let me finish. Wait, who even are you? Like, how'd you get in here? The back door was open. Oh, yeah. There was usually 3 people during a shift, so 2 people at the summer reading booth and 1 shelving books. Now, the librarians made a rule that before you can just sit at the booth, you had to shelve books. This was a lie, people. Why make a rule if you ain't gonna follow it? Me and the other 2 peeps came at about the same time, so we would all shelve books when we came in. Everyone's shelving books, but then some kid decides to stop and sit down at the booth after shelving like 3 books. The other kid decides to play follow the leader and abandon me with all these books. Now, to be fair, there weren't that many books left, but still, that's just plain rude. After I shelved all the books, I decided to organize the place because there were loads of misplaced books. After all, there was no spot left for me at the booth. Now, more books came in, and I would have thought someone would go help me shelve the books so I can sit down and take a break. But no! They just sat there. Like, what the heck? I politely asked them to go shelve the books since I already worked for an hour. And you know what they did? They just looked at me and said, okay. They didn't even move. The librarian comes up to me, looks at the pile of books, and says, why ain't you shelving the books? She obviously knew I had been working while those two potatoes sat there the entire time. She just didn't care because you know why? When you volunteer at the library, there's a hierarchy system. There's 1, the kid who's related to someone who actually works there, or 2, some other kid. If the volunteer worker was related to one of the librarians, they get worshipped like a god. Now, I find it unfair because both of those potatoes were related to a librarian and I wasn't. They got special treatment. They got to sit there and get credit while I'm hard at work, shelving books and reordering the place. I don't want to exaggerate, and to be honest, I'm not, but I was sweating. At the library. Like, who sweats in the library? Well, apparently me. And you would too if you shelved the books for 4 hours straight. I went right back to work while those monsters sat there playing on their phones and watching Stranger Things. Well, one last story because this was the reason I quit. I was paired up with 2 different people this time because the last 2 quit. You would have think these people would be different, but no, my friends, they were not. Well, actually, I was paired up with this guy. Let's name him Charlie. Well, it was just gonna be me and Charlie working, and it was for a couple of days. And he seems like a pretty okay guy. Now, since there was only 2 of us, we both got to sit at the booth when we were done shelving books. Yes, I thought my experience at the library would be better, but no. One day, another chick comes in. I'ma name her Jasmine. Now, I gotta admit, she looks really cute and all, but that doesn't mean stuff to me. Well, guess what? Charlie liked this new girl. You knew who else liked her? All the librarians, cause apparently she was related to the boss lady. When she walked in, everybody's like, praise the hallelujah, it's Jasmine. It's Jasmine. Oh my god, it's Jasmine. Bruh, they treated her like a queen. Like, I've never seen her touch a book once. She just sits at the booth and does her nails or something. Well, me and Charlie sit down at the booth, and there were books needed to be shelved. And I was like, alright Charlie, I'm gonna shelve these books right quick and be back. After I was done, I saw Jasmine in my seat. I was low-key salty about that, but I didn't want to bother those 2 lovebirds. So I just pretended I was shelving books and glared at them. Oh, look at the time. It's time to leave. Oh shoot, I just remembered my bag was at the booth. But it was okay, cause Jasmine left for whatever reason. I quickly went to the booth and Charlie stops me. That's Jasmine's seat. Huh? Chill out, I'm just getting my bag. And if you forgot, I sat here first and shelved the books the entire time while you 2 just sat there. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta go. Jasmine came back during my remarkable speech and was so confused. Now, I still had about 1 more month left, but I decided to quit. I called the head of the librarian multiple times, but she never answered. I decided to physically go to the library and tell her a couple days later. She wasn't happy. Hey, I tried to get in touch with you multiple times, but you never answered, and I just wanted to tell you I quit. Yeah, I can tell. Well, anyway, just total up your hours and let me sign it. 1, 2, 3, 8, 12, 1, 9, 6. Oh, I worked here for 48.5 hours. Remember how I needed 50 hours? Well, I was expecting this lady to say, oh, you can just round it to 49. Like, I wasn't even expecting her to round it to 50 or anything. But you know what she said? Then just write 48.5. What? Bruh. This lady being stingy, she being cheap, but she ain't even paying me. Okay, Mr. Krabs. Like, a cool person would be like, I got you, fam. Just write down 49 or 50. Because that's what all my teachers and coaches would do. It just makes life so much simpler, you know? But no. This lady telling me to write 48.5. That's it. I'm out. I'm never working here ever again. Even if I got paid. Well, maybe if I got paid. But that's not the point, okay? So in conclusion, no, I don't hate the library. I don't really hate the people either. I guess I'm just salty and jealous or whatever. The better I get to know men, the more I find myself loving dogs. Charles de Gaulle. Love that quote. Now, not all librarians are like this. In fact, I know many lovely and totally cool librarians out there. So I'm not hating, and I still like libraries. And I'm not saying you shouldn't volunteer or work at the library either. In fact, I think you should because you might really like it. It's a great experience. Just not for me. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe and hit that bell for more stories. And if you haven't, make sure to watch my first video on farts. I hope to see you all next time. Maybe.